new broadcast. All right. I'm going to post this link so that people see that we're up. So while I do that, we are live. Phillies, yes. The Phillies lost game one. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like how optimistic you are about this. Because yeah, good for you. I feel like I'm normally the optimistic Phillies fan, not necessarily amongst us, but like compared to the average Phillies fan, and I'm feeling it. So we've reversed roles a little bit because I was really excited coming into this series. You have home field advantage, and now it's gone. That's the main thing for me is losing the home field advantage right away, and just the track record in the NLDS of the game one winner when it's the road team. Phillies did it to the Braves twice, and then the Mets did it to the Phillies last year, winning game one on the road. Dodgers do it here. So my mind immediately went to those scenarios of like, well, that's not great. Um, so yeah, that's the downside that I'm thinking of right away. But yeah, it is game two is must win now. You can't go to LA down 0-2. So we know the stakes there. You get to face Blake Snell, which is not fun. The fact that they got three off of Otani was great, but then Dave Roberts did a great job. Tyler Glasnow and rookie Sasaki did a great job. After being put in by Dave Roberts, they shut it down. Best shot we had was bases loaded, 2 outs in the eighth, and Sosa had a good swing. Just yeah, not enough. I really didn't the whole time against Otani, I felt like they were having good at bats because the issue against the Mets in the NLDS was that they were just swinging wildly at balls a lot. And I thought they had really good approaches against Otani. Like they were swinging at strikes, they chased a little bit, but like not too bad. I'd liked the approaches, just they didn't have the results, and it's going to come down to the big three at the top of the order. Again, I talked about it in the NLDS preview. I think I clipped it into a reel of Schwarber and Turner struggling against the Mets last year. You need the big three at the top of the lineup to hit, and if they don't, it's going to be a lot harder to win these games. And yeah, like you said, the Dodgers are really good. It's a good thing to remember. They are the reigning champs, so tough to come in against them right away. But it's really tough to swallow anytime that you lose a game at Citizens Bank Park in the playoffs. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another concern. Bader hamstring strain. How serious is that? Because we just saw Trey Turner strain his hamstring and he was out for almost a month. Like what does hamstring strain mean when they say that? So I don't know that we don't have additional details on that, so we can't really speak to it. But that's concerning if Harrison Bader isn't going to be able to play the rest of this series potentially. So don't love that. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Rob did anything crazy wrong. Maybe he should have pulled Sanchez before he had him pitch against Kike and the 2-run double. I think putting Strom in was the right move. It almost worked out. Strom almost got out of the mess that D Rob set up. He got 2 outs and then a mistake to Teoscar. Kirkering was great. Duran was great. The fact that there was the Duran entrance for the first time in the playoffs and it nobody cared because they were down 5-3 sucks. Um, but yeah, I really it oversimplified. It just comes down to Strom making a mistake against Teoscar, and that's it. And their pitchers didn't make a mistake that we capitalized on. There were a couple mistake pitches. Harper got a couple 100-mile-an-hours just down the middle from Otani. Um, there were a couple of other pitches to guys that were in the zone to hit, and they didn't hit them. And Teoscar hit the one that he got. So really, it just comes down to that at the end. But it's tough that you had a 3-0 lead. You got to Otani, even though after the JT triple he really locked in, but still you had a 3-0 lead even then, you had a 3-2 lead after the Kike double, and that home run was just backbreaking. So, really, really tough loss to stomach at your home field. A 3-run homer from them, and it as soon as he hit that, I got flashbacks to Strom giving up a homer to, I think it was Vientos against the Mets last year. I was like, I again another thing I said in the NLDS preview. I was like, Phillies bullpen on paper better than the Dodgers. Phillies bullpen past 2 months better than the Dodgers, but in the playoffs, you'd never know. All it takes is one, and Teoscar was the one. So, yeah, is there anything else? I feel like those are the key moments in this game. There weren't a ton of key moments because the pitching was fantastic. It was the Phillies scoring 3 and the double and the homer for the Dodgers. Dodgers had 6 hits, 3 walks. Phillies had 5 hits, 3 walks. So, really just came down to homers, which in the playoffs, you hit home runs, your chances to win increase. The Phillies should be able to hit home runs. They didn't. Doesn't all come down to that, obviously, but clearly it helps. Parker said Harper didn't look like postseason Harper that game. None of the stars really did. Bryce getting that single in the 8th was the clutchest thing we got from them, which that was good. It set the table, but obviously you'd rather Bryce be the one to get the big hit, not the setup hit. So yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 We did see that they can go toe to toe with the Dodgers, which we already knew that. But it was a great game. Like if you're a neutral observer, this was a great game. Just sucks because we wanted the Phillies to win. So I still do feel like for the mentality for the rest of the series, the Phillies absolutely can hang in there. But game 2 is a must win. You have to take one in LA now. Like game 1 just dictates so much of how the rest of the series goes that I'm still optimistic the Phillies can obviously still win. They just made it a lot tougher on themselves now. There was already a ton of pressure on them. Now I don't know how there can be more pressure on them. There's more pressure on the Phillies now because they lost this game. So game 2, I'm going to be there at game 2. It's going to be incredibly tense until the Phillies, I don't know if they either break out to like a big lead or just until the final out. Like, yeah, it's just going to be survive. Mhm. They're up there. Mhm. That is also a combination of them having a bad bullpen and the best offense in the league. So it's like they score a lot of runs, and sometimes the bullpen gives up the lead, but then they score enough runs to make up for it. But yeah, their offense is really good, and they showed that tonight. All it took was one from Teoscar to be enough. Like that wasn't even a great offensive performance by the Dodgers. 6 hits. That's nothing crazy. Just time the home run right. Yeah. And Mookie didn't do damage. Mookie didn't do damage. Freddie didn't do damage. The big threes of both teams didn't do much. Both big threes. It's just their fourth guy did something and ours didn't. So like you were saying about depth, it's big. So yeah, I think that's about all I got. Won't really preview game 2. We can get into that later. We got an off day tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see what we do preview wise, but yeah, not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. It hurts. You wanna be able to come in, kick off Red October at home with a big statement win, and to not have that happen is not fun. It sucks. So, but yeah, I appreciated your optimism, Luke. That was really helpful for me. They can still do it. They can still do it. It's gonna be difficult, but as Philly fans, we wouldn't have it any other way, I guess. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Parker, for commenting. Appreciate you. Sorry you weren't able to join, but I'll see Parker tomorrow for the Eagles game. So we might have some content on the Instagram if anything crazy happens. Check the stories because we'll be together. The Eagles, please win, so you can kind of like ease our pain for a day in between. Just give us some. Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, go Birds. Everybody enjoy that. So we'll see you guys later.